Hey guys, I thought I would film a brew day. Haven't done one for a while. So today I am going to be doing a vanilla oatmeal stout, and it's based on a recipe out of the good book here. So page 175 is an oatmeal stout recipe, and I'm pretty much going to keep it the same. The only small changes are it calls for a small amount of Golding hops, and I don't have any in it. I'm only going to be using 8 grams. I'm going to be doing a half batch, so yeah, I'm not going to buy hops just for 8 grams, so giving that a miss, and I'll just use Challenger all the way through. At the end of the day, it's an oatmeal stout, so it's not going to have any pronounced hop aroma or flavour coming off, so it's more about the malts. And the other thing is I'm going to be adding a vanilla pod into the fermenter, and also I've got some pure cocoa nibs here, so I'll be using those in the fermenter. So yeah, these are going to be probably the two main differences between the book and my recipe. Yeah, so I'll just swing the camera around and show you what's going on. Okay, the first step is I'm bringing my mash water up to temperature. So it's sitting on 50 degrees at the moment, so it's not too far away. As far as my ingredients, I've got my couple of kilos of ale malt, 100 grams of medium crystal, about 125 grams of chocolate malt. I'm going to be using 50 grams of roasted barley, 125 grams of rolled oats, and the Challenger hops here, and the cocoa nibs, and one of these vanilla pods. So I don't need these at the moment. They're going into the fermenter once the initial fermentation's finished after about 4 days. Yeah, and I've also got the recipe on here as well. Yeah, just so I've had to adjust the IBUs, etc. So I'm going to call it a Winter's Grip Vanilla Oatmeal Stout. So that's what I'm calling it. We will come back once I do the mashing. Cheers guys. So I've got my strike water up to temperature. I've got it at 75 degrees. I've got my grain bag in, just secured with the alligator clips. So now we'll pour in the grains. I'll just give that a good stir, make sure there's no balls of grain. It's all nicely mixed with the water. So I've got about 9 litres of water here to about 2.5 litres of grain, so there's plenty of water in there. I'm not going to get any dry spots in there. So make sure it's all the way around. Yep, looks pretty good to me. Okay, so that's sitting at about 68, so I'm happy with that. So we'll just cover it up. Okay, so now we can just wait for the mash. So I'm going to do a 60-minute mash. Just got the pot covered up with insulation jacket here. So it looks like it's sitting on 68 degrees. So that's cool. So that'll give me a bit of leeway as far as it dropping a degree or two. And we'll come back after 60 minutes and start the boil. Cheers guys. Okay, the mash is about 2/3 of the way through, so I thought while I'm waiting I would pour myself up a beer. So this is the Toffee Amber Ale out of the pressure barrel. It's tasting really good actually now. The head's really starting to go sort of creamy, and it's got really nice tight little bubbles on it. Good carbonation. Yeah, it's just about run out, but it's tasting nice. All those nice toffee and caramel flavours. Okay, I'll stop flapping my gums and I'll come back shortly for the boil. Okay, so the mash is finished. How'd the temperature? Well, it only dropped down 1 degree over that hour, so it's good. So I've pulled the grain bag out of the pot. It's just sitting in this colander here. So now I'm just going to sparge Dino style with, I've got 2 litres here of 75 degree sparge water. So yeah, this is pretty basic, and as far as efficiency goes, this isn't the best way. But hey, it works for me in the kitchen until I get a better setup. As far as the efficiency goes, I just adjust my grains slightly, so I still end up with the gravity that I want and the alcohol content I want. So I don't lose any sleep over it. So yeah, I'll just finish pouring this. I'm just going to do it very slowly over the grains here. I'll come back shortly. Okay, so I've finished sparging with that 2 litres of 75 degree water. Now something I normally would do would be to pull the grains out here and then drain them into something else, but what I thought I'd do is I may as well just leave them here in the colander and they can continue to drain into the pot, which I'm bringing up to the boil. So that way it's doing 2 jobs at the same time. It's draining the remaining liquid out of the grain bag, and it's bringing it up to the boil. So yep, we'll let that come up to the boil, and then I'll come back for the hop additions. So we're going to add in the first hop addition. So this is 30 grams of Challenger, so we'll plonk that in, and we'll have to keep an eye on the make sure it doesn't boil over. Yeah, that's looking good. Oh, here we go. So yeah, there's just 2 hop additions. There's the beginning and boil. I'm actually only doing a 15-minute boil, and then there's flame out additions. So yep, that looks like it's cooled down. So I will come back for the next addition. Okay, so I've just about finished the 15-minute boil. Just after I put the initial hops in, or the first lot of hops, I put the wort chiller in just to sterilise it. So I'll be taking this out shortly and hooking it up to the water to cool down. Okay, so I'm just cooling the wort down. I put the flame out hops in after I took the pot off the heat. So yeah, so it's cooling down. So just as an experiment, we'll see how quickly this can cool down to pitching temperature. The water's very cold at the moment because we're in our winter. So yeah, this shouldn't take too long. Hopefully looking at 15 minutes, but we'll see how we go. I will come back once it's done. Okay, so that's down at pitching temperature now. It's just on 22 degrees. So that took 13 minutes to get it down from 100 degrees to 22. The first 50 degrees, so it went from 100 to 50 degrees in 4 minutes, and then it's taken the rest of the time to get down to 22. You'll find the temperature drops really quickly at the beginning, and then it slows down as the temperature gets lower and lower, because I guess the temperature of the wort is getting closer to the temperature of the water going in, so it's transferring less heat out. So yeah, that's that done. So I've just transferred the cooled down wort into the fermenter, just passing it through this grain bag which is sitting in the colander, and as you can see it just helps to hold back all the hop sludge. Okay, so I'm all finished now. I've got the wort in, I've given a good aeration, and I've just pitched the yeast, which I'm using. I've had some US-05 yeast, so I'm using that, which is what the book recommended. Here's the sample here. My recipe said I should be aiming for about a 1046 at 60% efficiency, and I hit that exactly, 1046. So I'm guessing that's what I got, the efficiency wise, from the brew in a bag, so very happy with that. Okay guys, thanks for watching the brew day. I'm just going to have a taste of the sample. Yeah, as you can imagine, mainly getting the sort of the roasted barley and the chocolate malt coming through. Some nice bitterness as well. So yeah, that's tasting good, and I'm happy I hit my numbers. So that should give me about I think about a 4.6% oatmeal stout. And like I say, the only other thing I've got to do is just add the vanilla pod and some cocoa nibs into the fermenter once the initial fermentation's died down, so it'll be probably in about 4 or 5 days' time. Okay guys, cheers for watching. I'll keep you updated on what's happening, and we'll catch you next time. Over and out.